Trump's new Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos, made history this week when she was confirmed in a historic 51-50 vote on the Senate floor. Now, why is this historic? Well, it's the first time that any cabinet nominee has had to be confirmed only after the Vice President cast a tie-breaking vote to confirm the nominee. Now, this is because Betsy is a tad controversial to say the least. So controversial that 2 Republican senators actually walked the floor and joined a united Democratic front. Why is she so controversial? Well, Republican proponents say that she'll help the disadvantaged in the school system, but her Democratic opponents completely disagree. DeVos's detractors argue that she's simply too unqualified for the job. This is due to the fact that she's never participated in the public school system, never overseen a student debt program, and has actually advocated private charter schools at the expense of public ones. In short, DeVos's Democratic opponents, as well as some Republicans, argue that she is as unqualified to lead students as Dewey Finn was to teach them. A bruising confirmation process didn't exactly help DeVos either. See, when Senator Al Franken asked whether students should be tested on proficiency or on growth, DeVos seemed to stumble on her answer, and this caused an uproar because testing students by either proficiency or growth is a well-known debate amongst education circles. Now, Senator Elizabeth Warren, heroine of the left, was equally damaging at her attacks in subsequent confirmation hearings.
Mrs. DeVos, have you ever taken out a student loan from the federal government to help pay for college?
I have not.
Have any of your children had to borrow money in order to go to college?
They have been fortunate not to.
Have you had any personal experience with a Pell Grant?
Not personal experience, but certainly friends and students with whom I've worked.
So you have no personal experience with college financial aid or management of higher education.
Now, as the process went on, 2 Republican senators actually came out against DeVos's nomination, Collins from Maine and Murkowski from Alaska. At this point in time, only one more Republican defection would have sunk the nominee's chances, and that's why thousands and thousands of calls were made to GOP senators who hadn't explicitly declared that they would support the nominee. Now, of course, Betsy DeVos was nominated, and that's because GOP leaders were very confident that the other 50 Republican senators would hold the line. But this really shouldn't come as a surprise, considering 22 of the current 52 Republican senators have received donations from either the nominee or her family. In fact, Marco Rubio, one of the most prominent GOP senators, has received just under $100,000. And in total, all 22 Republicans who have received donations have, in sum, received just under $900,000, which is why Bernie Sanders was rather blunt in his questioning.
Do you think, if you were not a multi-billionaire, if your family has not made hundreds of millions of dollars of contributions to the Republican Party, that you would be sitting here today?
Now, while DeVos may have survived the nomination process, in doing so, she lost an immense amount of political capital. Education is rarely a vote winner in and of itself, but it is definitely something people care about. And going forward, everything she does, every policy she makes, will be meticulously scrutinised. At the end of the day, DeVos is now severely weakened, and her ability to implement the kind of reform she was hoping to is now no longer as certain as it was before this brutal and dragging confirmation process. DeVos may have made history, but she's made history for all the wrong reasons, and that's going to hamper her in the future. Thanks for listening to Black Swan Politics.